Imagine a person who, with the best of intentions, strives to live a life of absolute purity, trying to rid themselves of all selfish thoughts. This individual believes firmly in their path, but in this pursuit, they might inadvertently become somewhat of a challenge for those around them. The reason is, in their quest for purity, they might lose their sense of humor and the genuine humility that comes from acknowledging our basic human needs. We all need food, companionship, and various other things that make us human, and recognizing this often brings a lightness and humor to life. In Zen Buddhism, there's an appreciation for this balance, which is why Zen sages often have a playful, even clown-like, representation. Take, for example, the figure of Putai or Hotei, known as the Laughing Buddha. This character, with his large belly and the sack he carries, filled with all sorts of items to distribute to children, embodies the joy and generosity of spirit. He represents what the Chinese refer to as the old rogue, a figure who is admired for being a blend of poet, sage, monk, and scholar. This old rogue is seen as a non-violent rebel, a nomad of sorts, embodying freedom and flexibility. He's akin to the Joker in a deck of cards, a figure that doesn't conform to a fixed role but has the versatility to adapt to any situation. This blend of wisdom, humor, and humility is highly valued, showing a deep understanding of life's complexities and the importance of not taking oneself too seriously. Zen Buddhism evolved in China following the era of Bodhidharma, reaching its zenith during the Tang and Song dynasties, a period spanning roughly from 713 AD to between 1100 and 1200. This era is celebrated as the Golden Age of Zen, marked by the emergence of exceptional masters and the significant impact of Zen on the cultivation of Chinese poetry, painting, calligraphy, and intellectual pursuits. Post-1200, Zen made its way to Japan, where it experienced a fresh phase of development, distinct in essence and expression from its Chinese roots. Over time, for reasons embedded in complex historical narratives, Zen's prominence waned in China, transforming it primarily into a Japanese tradition. Interestingly, while its influence diminishes in Japan, Zen is gradually gaining ground in the Western world, a testament to its enduring appeal and adaptability. The essence of Zen training revolves around a unique method of dialogue and interaction between two individuals. One assumes the role of a student, and by doing so, naturally positions the other as the teacher. This dynamic underscores that a teacher's existence is predicated on the presence of a student, and a problem only emerges when a question is posed. In this context, students are seen as the creators of teachers. The Zen method is famously paradoxical. If you pose a question, you might be met with 30 blows. If you refrain from asking, the same consequence awaits. This approach is not about punishment but illustrates a profound Zen principle. By seeking to be taught, you acknowledge a problem, engaging in the student-teacher dynamic and the intricate dance of learning. In essence, the concept of having a problem is more a play of life, a kind of illusion, as suggested by the philosophical idea of Maya in Hinduism. This notion proposes that the ultimate reality or the divine essence playfully manifests itself as the myriad forms of life, including each one of us, engaging in a cosmic game of hide and seek with itself. It's as if life is a grand dream, and the realization of wanting to awaken from this dream, that is, recognizing life's inherent suffering or desiring to escape the mundane cycle of daily chores, marks the beginning of spiritual questioning. A student, grappling with the existential routine of daily life, approached a Zen master, pondering on how to transcend the endless cycle of mundane tasks like dressing and eating, or metaphorically, escaping the rat race. The master's response was profoundly simple. We dress, we eat. When the student expressed confusion, the master further simplified, if you don't understand, put on your clothes and eat your food. This dialogue encapsulates the Zen approach to life's complexities, direct and experiential, pointing towards engaging with life as it is, rather than escaping it. The Zen master's stance, when faced with a seeker's quest for enlightenment, is one of apparent paradox. By claiming to have nothing to teach, the master underscores a fundamental Zen principle. True wisdom and understanding come not through accumulation of knowledge, but through direct experience and realization of life's ordinary moments. This narrative illustrates the unique and characteristic Zen method of teaching and learning, which often uses seemingly simple interactions to convey deep philosophical insights. In Zen, the essence of teaching often lies in the assertion that there is, in fact, nothing to be said. This is because Zen transcends words and concepts, pointing to a reality that is immediately present and clear in its simplicity. This was vividly illustrated when a Confucian scholar sought the hidden wisdom of Zen from a master. The Zen master reminded him of a teaching from the scholar's own tradition, where Confucius had assured his disciples that he withheld nothing from them. The point was missed by the scholar until a later moment when, during a walk in the mountains, the scent of a wild laurel bush prompted the Zen master to demonstrate that, like the natural, direct experience of scent, he was withholding nothing. This story encapsulates the Zen master's stance. There's no secret doctrine or solution to life's existential questions because these dilemmas are seen as illusory. When students come seeking profound wisdom or a hidden truth, they often believe that the master's refusal to provide clear answers is a test of their dedication. They interpret the nothing that the master offers not as a lack but as a profound emptiness, a concept often revered in Zen as the Great Void. This misunderstanding leads students to persist in their quest, encouraged by the master to delve deeper, pushing them to the edge of their reasoning, until they realize that the essence of Zen cannot be grasped through intellectual pursuit but is understood through direct experience and the realization of the ordinary and mundane as it is. The journey into Zen demands such a profound commitment from the student that it becomes akin to a lifelong quest for enlightenment, reminiscent of the symbolic act of Hukei, who cut off his arm to demonstrate his earnest dedication to his teacher. This narrative sets the stage for the student's immersive experience in Zen training, where they're not just learning techniques but are being prepared to confront the very essence of their being. Once the student formally embraces this path, they are introduced to rigorous practices like zazen, seated meditation, and are challenged with koans, intentionally perplexing questions or statements that defy rational explanation. Koans are not just puzzles to be solved but are designed to push the student beyond conventional thinking, to a place where reason and logic no longer hold sway. The primary aim of these koans, especially the initial ones, is to strip away the layers of social identity and reveal the student's true self, untouched by societal labels or personal history. This process is deeply personal and introspective, inviting comparisons to existentialist ideas of authentic existence, where the individual seeks to live in a manner true to their inner self, free from the roles and expectations imposed by society. Similarly, in a religious context, it echoes the intimate self-examination of a confessional, where one seeks to reveal not the superficial or socially acceptable sins but the deepest, most genuine transgressions. Through this intense and often disorienting process, the student is encouraged to present a form of authenticity that transcends social constructs, aiming to discover and express the unvarnished truth of their being. Realizing he was running out of time, the student approached the session, expressing his urgency with only a month left. The master responded by initiating an intense meditation practice known as ossession, characterized by minimal sleep, merely 3 hours a night, and continuous meditation. The student was tasked with presenting the resolution to his Zen koan 3 times daily. As the days passed, the pressure intensified, heightening his desperation to understand Zen before his Fulbright scholarship concluded. However, as the end approached, a profound realization dawned on him. There was, in essence, nothing to be discovered. He recognized that everything was perfectly fine as it was, experiencing a significant enlightenment that alleviated his mental burden. This breakthrough was precisely what the master aimed for him to achieve. In a more prolonged engagement, beyond the constraints of a Fulbright timeline, the master might employ another technique to deepen the student's understanding. After acknowledging the student's enlightenment, the master might suggest that the student has merely begun to grasp Zen's essence. He would imply that realizing the void and the non-existence of obstacles or barriers, understanding that everything is interconnected and transparent, is just the start of a deeper journey into Zen. This approach underscores Zen's paradoxical nature, where understanding often comes from realizing there is nothing to be understood, and enlightenment lies in seeing the ordinary as extraordinary. After the initial breakthrough, the journey into Zen is far from over. It marks just the beginning of a deeper exploration that demands even more discipline and effort from the student. Faced with the master's challenge to intensify his dedication, the student might initially feel satisfied with his insight and decide to leave, thinking he has grasped the essence of Zen. However, as time passes and the euphoria of his enlightenment fades, making life seem mundane once more, doubts creep in. Wondering if perhaps there was more to learn, he returns to his master, seeking further guidance. Upon his return, the student encounters a master who is significantly stricter, questioning the student's commitment and initially reluctant to accept him back. Apologizing and admitting his naivety, the student pleads for another chance. The master, after some resistance, agrees to take him back on a probationary basis, presenting him with a new koan that approaches Zen from a different angle. This process repeats, with koans that challenge the student from various perspectives. This cycle highlights a crucial aspect of Zen training: the teacher's role in perpetually challenging the student's understanding, suggesting there is always more to realize. The master skillfully keeps the student engaged, hinting at deeper layers of insight yet to be uncovered, thereby maintaining the student's drive for continuous learning and self-discovery. This dynamic illustrates the endless nature of Zen practice, where the quest for enlightenment is a continuous journey rather than a destination, always evolving and unfolding in new directions. Zen practice culminates in the realization that life's value isn't something to be extracted but that one is the very essence of life. This insight transforms the student-teacher relationship, diminishing the need for a teacher as the student discovers that their quest was not for external gain but for an understanding of their inherent existence. The teacher, initially perceived as a mentor, is eventually seen as a skillful instigator who uses deception to guide the student towards this enlightenment. This process fosters a profound respect for the teacher, now viewed as a benevolent trickster instrumental in the student's journey to awakening. The progression of the student's relationship with their teacher reflects the nuanced nature of Zen training. Initially, the teacher may present as a strict authority figure, but over time, this dynamic evolves into a more familial, supportive bond, akin to that between siblings. Despite this, the teacher can still employ authority unexpectedly to provoke deeper learning and insight. A telling example of this intricate dynamic is when a Zen master is woken up at an incorrect time on a Saturday, contrary to the usual routine. This simple act is laden with lessons on mindfulness, adaptability, and the teacher-student relationship's complexity, highlighting Zen's inherently unpredictable and educational nature. Through such experiences, students learn that Zen is not about adhering to rigid schedules or expectations but about embracing life's fluidity and the continuous journey of self-discovery. Upon being awakened an hour later than expected, the Zen master, not realizing it was Saturday, reacted with immediate fury towards his attendant. However, when reminded of the day, his anger vanished, replaced by calm serenity, without a hint of apology. This incident underscores the essence of Zen, a game of profound understanding and spontaneous reaction. This story reveals the intricacies of engaging with a Zen master. Even armed with knowledge of their methods, as of shared, one might find it insufficient when directly interacting with a master. This is because a true Zen master possesses the skill to outmaneuver any preconceived strategies, making prior knowledge ineffective. Their actions are not driven by a desire to assert superiority but stem from a deep compassion and a wish to share a profound realization that happiness lies in recognizing what one already possesses. The challenge for the master lies not in imparting this wisdom, as it is something everyone inherently has, but in helping individuals realize this truth for themselves. This task, perhaps the most challenging of all, emphasizes the Zen master's role not as a giver of knowledge but as a guide, leading others to discover their innate wisdom. It's a nuanced journey where the master continuously adapts, ensuring that the lesson is not merely given but experienced, making the realization of one's own essence the ultimate discovery. This process, while demanding and iterative, highlights the unique and transformative path of Zen practice, where the journey itself becomes the destination.